have some interesting music here? Oh, there it is.
The new king of the ring.
We have a new king of the ring, Wade Barrett. You're watching Sports Entertainment Tonight. My name is Nick Fuquay.
Lawrence Alfred.
Mark Trahan.
You're way more excited, Nick.
Whoa. Folks, we got a great show. We're talking Extreme Rules tonight. We're talking King of the Ring tonight.
Yep.
We're talking Monday Night Raw tonight.
Yeah.
We're talking SmackDown spoilers tonight. We hope to get to some NXT.
In other words, we're talking sports entertainment tonight.
Yeah.
That's what we do here. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-boom. Oh, the Barrett Barrage.
The bull handle.
I'm pumped up.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
Yeah.
I'm pumped up. How about you, Lawrence?
Yeah, we're on fire. You're on fire.
Yay.
All right. Well, you know how we usually
You're
stall.
on fire.
Woo! That's what's up. That's what's up, Acadiana. Let me go ahead and stop that. We get it. We get it, Barrett. We get it, Barrett.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
All right.
Yeah, because of Festival National, we couldn't get to talk about Extreme Rules last.
Yeah, so you didn't get to hear our predictions. You know, you didn't get to hear all the geniusness. You know, as if you saw me on the podcast, Billy Boudreaux's podcast, which Billy, if you're out there, I want to kind of gloat a little bit. I was the only one to predict Wade Barrett as the new king of the ring, as everybody else jumped on the Neville bandwagon, which I don't blame them, of course. Neville's been rocking it. What do y'all think?
Pretty much so, but most of the heels win King of the Ring, you know.
Exactly.
And not
That's
only
what
that,
that was my reasoning.
If he would have became king, what is it that he could have present as king? Like, there was nothing there.
You get a title shot.
Well, I mean, and I thought, well, now we're in the park again.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that both King Neville and King Barrett both have a ring to them. You know, they're both British.
Yeah, both British.
You know, and trivia question. Can you tell me the last babyface to win the King of the Ring? The last babyface to win the King of the Ring. We got Ken Shamrock over here. What do you think, Lawrence?
Let me think.
And Acadiana, if you want to call in, the number is right there on the screen. 366-8951. We are Wednesday night live, 9 o'clock, you know, so if you're watching the replay. Flash drive, yes, we do. Yes.
Could it be Edge?
Aha! And we have a winner. Yes.
Right.
It was Edge.
It's Edge.
Edge. You know,
I thought he's a
because
tweener.
that was actually another one that I stumped Billy on yesterday because he said Bret Hart. So, how about that one?
It's Edge.
Yeah, so let's just jump right into Extreme Rules. We like to cover pay-per-views because that's what we really work for. That's what all the Raws build up to. That's what all the SmackDowns build up to. So we had a heck of a kickoff match. Initially, it was scheduled that Wade Barrett was going to get his Intercontinental title rematch against Daniel Bryan. However, it appears that Daniel Bryan is going to be out for at least another 5 weeks, which let's just jump right into that matter in the Intercontinental title. What do y'all think about the Daniel Bryan situation? Do you think possibly that the WWE should, give up the title, make him, strip him of the title and, do something with the belt, or should they put it on the shelf for 5 weeks?
What I think they should do with it, they should play it off as, let him keep his belt. And then once 30 days is up, they play the 30-day clause just to keep it
Well, 30-day clause. I mean, we've just had Brock Lesnar be champion for about a year and wrestle 3 matches,
I get it, but he's Brock Lesnar.
All right. Well, he's an attraction,
And,
of course.
yeah.
Yes. Which I kind of miss Paul Heyman, I hate to say, but, man.
Paul Heyman.
Brock Lesnar. We'll see him around SummerSlam. But yeah, I kind of almost think they should possibly strip him, 30 days, as you say, which has been, 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. So it's getting relatively around that time. It'll be around Payback. Because they should, with as much as they're doing with the U.S. title right now and building their mid-card titles, I definitely think it would be a good thing to do something with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, already got somebody that's big, the U.S. champion.
And such bad timing for Daniel Bryan, as you were saying before the show, Lawrence. Pretty much the same thing happened to him last year.
It's around the same time period.
Yes, exactly.
After he won a title at WrestleMania.
Yeah. But you got to give it up for Neville, though. Neville's come in from NXT, and him and Wade Barrett, they made a kickoff show match. Really feel like the pay-per-view match. I mean, they put on a great performance in this kickoff show.
They're like, everyone thinks we can't do a good match. We show everybody, and they pretty much did.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. There's no Daniel Bryan. Obviously, we saw all of Neville's high-flying moves. Do you think that that's going to last in his career or make the longevity of his career?
No. What I think is going to eventually, I think if they do it right, you let him do it all now, then you hold him back on it and make it special.
Well, he's definitely getting fans on his bandwagon. We'll say
what
that.
It does is it's going exactly. It gets
He
the
does that
fans
spot
behind him.
flipping,
You get
turnbuckle.
You get the fans behind him, and then you hold him back because now we know where he can go, and when he needs it, he uses it.
Without a doubt.
Because we don't want him to have the Daniel Bryan syndrome.
And he's even won me over since he's gotten in the WWE more so than what he did in NXT. I mean, I liked him in NXT, but it's just like on the main roster, he's wowed me.
Even when he's selling, it's like he just does it well. So it's like if all I need him to do is tone it down a little and use it when it's special.
Yeah.
That way he has longevity.
And eventually he is going to have to talk.
Yes.
His ring ability is winning the crowd over right now.
He spoke at the King of the Ring last
Right, and
night.
he's been doing like little backstage interviews. And he's not that bad.
Exactly. So
he's really not that bad.
So I could get
But ultimately, we saw the red arrow, which is one of the most impressive moves you'll see in wrestling. Like a kind of flips.
Find something else that you could do on the ground that's special, and only use
the red arrow as the finishing move.
That special moment. Like for instance, Seth Rollins. You saw what he did at the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. He only pulls it off when he needs to.
Of course. Which it was kind of interesting because this match kind of seemed as a foreshadowing for what was to come in the coming days. Because we found out at Extreme Rules that, we're having the King of the Ring finals on Tuesday before they even announced that they were even going to have some semifinal matches on Raw. Okay, awesome. We're getting a King of the Ring, which, I've been kind of hungry for a King of the Ring. Another King of the Ring trivia question.
Here we go.
Who was the last King of the Ring? Sheamus. He was so bad that they got rid of King of the Ring for 5 years. How about that?
Yeah, he was not one of the best kings.
He wasn't really a good king at all.
Not like Booker.
But yes, foreshadowing, folks. We're going to get back to Neville and Barrett. Yeah. Next, the Chicago Street Fight. We've got Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe, going against what seems to be the WWE's most recent jobber, Luke Harper.
Yeah.
Okay. That's his job, to be the jobber. Because the reason they put Luke Harper on TV, because he's a big guy who can go.
You're definitely, you make a point there, Lawrence.
So he's there to put the guy over.
Yeah. All right.
They give him a few wins to make him big enough to lose.
Well, surely. Well, and I mean, actually getting into Dean Ambrose, I have a stat here about Dean Ambrose. This was his first pay-per-view win since Night of Champions 2013.
You mean his streak?
He has had a streak of 10 losses on pay-per-view matches that weren't with the Shield. So you got to feel for Dean Ambrose. He's off the schneid, so to speak. Yeah. And after the match and on Monday Night Raw, which we can kind of talk about that a little bit, I almost kind of sensed like he was kind of losing a little bit, and we might see a heel turn possibly coming soon here in the future, which he's one of those guys that can flip pretty easy.
Yeah, what you think about the little spot there and the escalator together and they go driving in Chicago, then it come back until like the last of the...
Well, and that's just the thing, folks. I mean, we had a quick start, there's a lot of extreme stuff. They were pulling out chairs, kendo sticks, suplex on the chairs. And then they get into a car and then drive into Chicago. And we're thinking, okay, the cameraman's going to follow them. We're going to see some stuff in Chicago. But it's nothing, Eventually they come back a couple matches later, and okay, I guess they went and took a drive together, I mean, you would have thought they would have gotten in a wreck if they were fighting while they were driving. Maybe they went and got a cheeseburger or something. Yeah. But yeah, they ended up coming back a couple matches later. Triple H actually asked Kane to go find him, but which Kane, never did.
He was busy trying to figure out what he was going to do with Rollins and Orton.
Exactly. Next, oh man. Which one more thing before we get off of the Dean Ambrose losing streak. I just want to mention that John Cena, since that time, Night of Champions 2013, has had 12 pay-per-view victories.
Of course.
Even Curtis Axel has had 5 pay-per-view victories.
Well, he's a bigger driver than Luke Harper.
Wow. Wow. The Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. Give him some love, folks. Kiss Me Arse match. Oh, man. This one, I didn't know how the bookers were going to book their way out of the corner they booked themselves into.
Yeah, it's not PG.
Well, and even still, nobody can win. Nobody wins a Kiss My Arse match.
I know. Kiss my ass. How you gonna dare do? Somebody's gonna fuck her up.
Well, PG is parental, Parents still.
Which they've been pushing the envelope a little bit in WWE lately, saying some curse words, getting with the blood, getting extreme with it, and trying to go a little, attitude with it. And I think it's good stuff, but
Kiss my arse.
Kiss my arse, really? I hate to quote The Miz, but really? Yeah.
The positive thing out of this is that Sheamus looks like a strong heel.
Sure. Yeah. Which, of course, it was a hard-hitting match. A lot of the wrestlers are even complaining about Sheamus, how he is kind of reckless in the ring, and he does just kind of throw people around, and it doesn't seem like people land very, it's hard to predict where they land.
They said he's always been stiff.
Yeah, well, as, what's that old saying, stiff as a wedding dick? Can you say that? Oh, yeah, it's AOC. Nobody's watching. Yes. So, yeah, we see a roll-up. Man, it was a good match, though. Decent match. It was extreme. Yeah. Dolph wins with the roll-up. So, Dolph's getting his, booty ready for Sheamus to come kiss. And, Sheamus teases that he's going to do it a couple times. And, once after about 5 minutes of deliberating.
It's the art of what heels are missing nowadays.
Yeah. I agree. Build suspense.
And
then ultimately, boom! Low blow. Yep. Dolph gets taken out, gets a bro kick, and Sheamus, rubs his arse up in Dolph's face. And, I assume that means kissing it. And he was humiliated.
So I'm assuming there's going to be payback.
There's going to be payback between those two. Yes, which we'll try and get to that if we have some time. Only 7:13. We're making decent time. We haven't had as much tomfoolery tonight as we typically do because we got a lot on the plate, folks. Yep. So, there was that match. Which actually, Sheamus was bleeding pretty badly on Raw.
Yeah. Sheamus was bleeding pretty badly at the King of the Ring.
Was that at the King of the Ring? Okay, I got the two mixed up maybe. Yeah. Okay, anyways, next we have the tag team match, which this was a big surprise. We have New Day.
New Day makes me boo day.
New Day makes me boo day, and you're supposed to say sucks. But, they are kind of going on the New Day sucks, heel gimmick. And they went against the champions, Cesaro and Kid. And I thought this was one of the best matches of the night, actually.
Yeah. I am 100% in agreement that it was one of the best matches of the night.
Yes, and we'll get to that other best match of the night, which, you're going to be happy about.
Well, am I going to be happy about it? That's not that I'm happy about it. It's pretty much what I stated.
It's what you've been saying from the start.
And people will just listen to me.
You got to tune in, folks.
I am a smart guy.
Yes, and once again,
I'm not out here just stating things. I'm just trying to be real. I'm a realist.
You're a realist.
I'm a realist. If it is what it is. Like,
no truer words have ever been spoken, they say. Yes. Anyways, tag team match. It started off with the New Day sucks. New Day had a lot of heat in Chicago, which, give it up to Chicago. They're one of the best WWE crowds, I would say. And pretty much it ended up with the New Day kind of cheating a little bit, doing some heelish tactics to win the titles. And which was a big surprise. Nobody expected New Day to actually beat Cesaro and Kid.
And what I laugh about it is Xavier Woods. celebrates more than the two that actually.
Right, and he
wrestle.
holds the belt, and exactly, and he'll like wrestle on SmackDown in the tag team, you know, because it's apparently like free bird rules in the New Day. But yeah, but they had a couple good little spots there. Let's see, there's a Tyson Kidd flip through the middle rope. I thought that was pretty rolling. Let's see, Cesaro's a beast. I'll just say that, and there's some notes I made
Biggie
here.
Langston doing his.
Yeah, Biggie Langston, the spear through the rope, the suplex springboard. That was pretty nice.
Biggie, change your ring gear, please.
Yeah, it's a little cheesy. Let's see, the New Day finished. Then they had a Cesaro save, Xavier Woods distraction, a bunch of, interaction. Natalya comes and gets involved. Kofi rolls up with the tights.
1,
Done.
2, 3.
Done. New tag team champions. That turns out it was our only title change of the night, which was, relatively a big surprise. I
Exactly.
wasn't expecting Cesaro and Kidd to lose the titles that soon.
WWE,
Which
you did a good job on not giving us something predictable.
I'm thinking Cesaro and Kidd are going to get their payback.
Yep. Payback.
Well, we have to realize what happened on SmackDown first.
Well, yes, SmackDown spoiler, you are going to see a tag team rematch. And what happens in that SmackDown spoiler?
Well, I'm going to give you this
because
information.
we're on tag team titles right now.
Well, let's just say the former tag team champions do win via disqualification.
Aha. So no title changes, but that does put in a ring of controversy. Which, speaking of controversy, folks, wait till we get to our Extreme Rules main event, because there was a little bit of controversy in that. But our next match, just moving right on along here, which after the tag team match, just to make a note here, that's when Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper just magically appeared. Now Dean Ambrose is driving whenever Luke Harper was driving when they left. So apparently they fought like as they were driving around Chicago, switched spots. But the camera didn't see any of it.
Yeah.
So
They almost hit New Day.
yeah, well they almost hit New Day after their
Interview.
we won the tag team championship interview. And then let's see, that's pretty much it of that. The U.S. title, the Russian chain match.
Yeah. My grandma gave me that chain.
The grandma gave you that chain, huh?
Yeah.
Basically it was a 4 corners match. You had to touch each corner. And they had a light, which I thought the rules of the match, personally, were that, like, if one person touches a corner and then the next person touches the corner, it resets. Can, like, each person go touch 3 corners?
That was like
at a
before,
time?
Yeah. That was like before.
I thought that it resets once another person touches a corner. I don't know. Maybe I don't understand the rules of the match.
Maybe because that's an American chain match. Maybe
that might be the American
Strap
chain
match.
match, maybe. Well, because it ended up that, both Rusev and Cena had 3, and it came down to the last one.
it's the momentum thing that changes with the lights go off or resets, whatever.
Sure. Well, and I mean, just like WrestleMania, though, Lana, who's really kind of gotten over with the crowd, mainly because she's hot, but, Lana gets up on the apron, causes Rusev to get distracted, and AA, and, there you go. John Cena retains. And Lana, that was a little before, Lana got sent to the back.
That's what I'm saying. So that's not an excuse. I don't know why he was still blaming Lana. She been gone before he lost.
Oh, it was a distraction. And I mean, I honestly think that he's
lost
getting
later.
right. I think he's getting a little jealous as well.
that's what it
Which
is.
I mean, in real life, these two are actually together.
Yeah.
She's just been like filming movies and stuff.
Sable, Mark Merrow.
Which I'm curious if she's gonna have her accent in the movies, because she's originally from Florida, I think.
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, she grew up in Russia, I believe. She was from a military family, but she's originally from Florida, so I don't think her accent is as bad as what she does on TV. But yeah, John Cena retains, which I was kind of happy about, mainly because I like the U.S. Open challenges.
And then again, he did not get pinned, so.
Right, and it was announced that night that they are going to have another match at Payback, which is going to be an I Quit match.
Which means Cena's win.
Which means John Cena will win. I agree, because John Cena does not give up. Never give up is his slogan.
Yeah.
Unless an accolade makes them pass out.
But it's an I quit match. I think the rules are specific.
You have to say I
add the
quit
word
even if you
I
pass out.
Right, because let's go back to Royal Rumble 99.
Okay.
Rock versus Mick Foley. Mick Foley was passed out, but Rock had to put the microphone to Mick Foley's thing, and then a recording of Mick Foley saying "I quit" from a promo he cut.
Like
So-
when he said "I'll never quit" or something like that. I remember that.
So
Yep.
Yeah, good old Attitude Era Raws that they've been re-airing here lately. Yeah, moving on. Divas title. We have
Yes.
Nikki with some.
it's all repetitive. The Rusev Lana thing is Mark Merrill Sable.
I think Rusev's a little different than Mark
No,
Merrow.
well, I'm talking about as far as the jealousy of they not
Oh, yeah,
doing anything.
storyline.
Surely, as far as storyline
Yeah.
and,
I'm talking about- no, I'm
Lana
talking about
being just hot,
Yeah, I'm
and
talking
she can
about-
be a Playboy bunny kind
I'm
of
talking
thing.
about on that aspect. Yeah.
Surely. Which, does anybody even read Playboy anymore?
I don't know.
When's the last Playboy you've gotten, Mark?
It's been a while.
And I mean, like, even when you go on the internet, do you go to playboy.com? I don't think anybody does, really. You do? Okay. Oh, well, there's still some people out there. Hugh, you're still making money.
Yeah. Anybody watches the Divas match anyway? Or was you a bathroom or?
I
Go-
watch
go
the
eat
Divas
something.
matches
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
a fan. I want to know what's going on.
Without a doubt. And I mean, what's the diva? Give divas a chance.
Yeah.
You know, I'm giving divas a
have to
chance.
give them a chance.
But Naomi has some cool. She has some.
Dude, those shoes.
Yeah.
The shoes are rolling.
Nay, nay.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm just so confused about the divas.
Who's
Who
the
am I
heel
supposed to cheer
and who's
for?
the faces?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lawrence.
Who's the heel and who's
Yeah.
the face?
I mean, because I'm clueless as well.
Okay. Let's give this Bella saga right quick. So we got Nikki having Bree as her personal assistant because Bree lost a match.
At the time, Brie is
Yeah.
one of your biggest babyface
Yeah.
divas of all time.
The final day that she's supposed to be the assistant,
She becomes a heel. Yeah.
she joins forces with her sister instead of just clocking her because the 30 days is up anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's all
And
good.
now
I
there are
missed you
these
anyways.
preppy heels messing with everybody.
Like the Mean Girls.
And then out of the blue,
We're just supposed to cheer for them now.
we're going to cheer for you because Naomi wants the belt that she should have gotten because she pinned you more than once.
Yeah.
And then in the match at the pay-per-view, Naomi is wrestling as the heel. Nikki's wrestling as the face, but Brie interferes and costs Naomi like if they're the heels.
And then this really bothered me
Conspiracy.
too. On Monday Night Raw, when they interviewed Brie about Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan is the baby face, and we cheer for Daniel Bryan, and we don't want to think of you as Daniel Bryan's wife. We want to think of you as Brie Bella. I mean, because that's basically breaking kayfabe.
But what they're trying to also do is trying to make Brie look like a baby face.
Without a doubt.
After
And-
she did a heel move the night before on the pay-per-view.
And it's just like inconsistencies in the
Did
divas.
Naomi
And
get a
the
baby
thing
face?
is,
Did a
Naomi
heel?
is not that easy to hate.
Yeah, I agree. But she's doing some heelish
Yeah.
stuff. Like, because after the interview, Naomi pretty much came
is
and
it-
boom,
is
right
it-
in the
hold
face,
on,
and
hold on.
Brie was
Okay,
bleeding out of her
okay,
nose.
But do we call that heely stuff? Because Stone Cold used to do that.
Why? She's just pissed. She's had enough.
Yeah, that's just it. Do we call that heely stuff? Now, WWE's trying to make it heel, but
Yeah.
Sure.
I would do the same thing.
Well, when does Paige come back? She's been gone a month. She's had her vacation.
And what should have happened was Naomi should have won that belt for when Paige came back, so Paige could
I
get her
agree.
revenge, and that's what it
I
should
think
have
it's all heading toward a fatal four-way at SummerSlam.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
With the Bellas, Brie, and Naomi.
It'll
Not
be
Brie.
interesting to see what happens.
Paige. But that was the Divas match. Nikki ended up retaining, as you said, with the help of her twin sister. It was a good match. I'm impressed with the Bellas. They've gotten a lot better than they were, in 3-4
One's married
years
to
ago.
Daniel, the other one's having a nice
With
relations
John
with
Cena.
John Cena. What you think? They're
Yeah.
gonna give the push.
Like
Or the
AJ
Bella-
Well,
Lee
they've
said.
got the push, but they've got the talent behind the push.
They
though.
got but still.
And I'm a big fan of the Rack
Yeah,
attack.
Yes.
There you are.
Last man standing. Ooh, my match of the night.
Yeah.
With your boy.
Why did you?
With your boy.
Why did you look at me?
With your boy, Lawrence.
Yeah.
I already told you I have my
You
squad.
told us.
I have my
Okay.
squad in the WWE.
And that's 2 pay-per-views in a row that he's won me over. I was doubtful before. I'll admit it. I will admit it. I was not on the Roman Reigns bandwagon. However, WrestleMania, he impressed me with Brock Lesnar. Then against the Big Show, which of course, I think a lot of it was the booking, and how they got Big Show to get up so many times in a last-minute standing match. But ultimately, awesome match.
It's like
I give it up to him.
It's like people that like hard-boiled eggs.
Okay.
You put it in the pot. That's what they did with Reigns. And then when it's done, it's hot. And the deal is, you may like it, but it was too hot to eat. So it just had to sit there and cool off for a while so that it's edible.
Which apparently it's cooled off enough because Roman Reigns is going to be in our Payback main event.
Of course, because now that everybody's boy Daniel Bryan's on the shelf, we're in the Roman Empire again.
Well, but is it a good thing for him to be back in the main event if he does not win? Because I believe Seth Rollins is, going to have a decent little title reign at least till SummerSlam.
The beauty of the triple threat
is he doesn't have to get pinned.
is he doesn't have to get pinned, or he can lose with shenanigans.
Surely. And we see shenanigans always with Seth Rollins. And another thing I want to know is, why does Kane and Big Show keep on getting pushes?
Because they're big, bad, nasty. They've been in the company for years. They're veterans, and they're still under contract. So therefore, the WWE has to honor, because they're getting paid. Kane and Big Show, they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So WWE is like, okay.
But it's almost like people can't believe it anymore. Nobody actually thought Big Show had a chance against Roman Reigns.
And that's why it was beauty watching him get his butt whooped by Roman Reigns.
Surely.
And WWE knew that. People know that people don't like the Big Show. But
that changes every other month.
we know people don't, even when he's a face. He's not.
Right.
He's liked because he's the face, but people don't like Show. They don't think he's relevant, enough. And at least they know Reigns is relevant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, you may not like
Relevant?
Reigns, but he's not irrelevant.
I agree.
You may not like him, but he's still. You
Are
still
you
talk,
on the bandwagon yet, Mark?
whether you're on the bandwagon or not. The point is, you're still talking about Roman Reigns. He still has you talking.
Yeah.
I like it, and they're doing a good job with him. I think people resented him at first because WWE was shoving Roman Reigns down our
That's
throat.
what it. Yeah.
And
Well, they kind of went in a pickle to do it.
well, and I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that he kind of laid an egg last SummerSlam against Randy Orton, and he showed his greenness in that match, and to get this skyrocket push to the moon, it's like, well, people didn't think he deserved it, not yet at least. Because we know you got the Rock's lineage, you got the
but then
romance
again,
novel look.
People didn't think The Rock deserved it. Once they shift things a little bit.
As
Rock
Triple
got
H
hot.
said, nobody's ever ready.
Exactly.
So, but I wrote down some of the spots. It started off with Roman Reigns trying to pull out tables because the crowd was hungry for some tables. Big Show would just push them back in like the heel, doing a good heel job. Let's see.
And Reigns also takes the bumps.
He does take
And
some
gets
bumps.
right back up.
He takes them pretty good and gets
He shows
right back
he's
up.
tough enough.
Right. We had some kendo stick stuff. Knockout punch. Samoan drop through the table. 2 tables set up outside the ring, which of course Big Show choke slammed Roman Reigns outside of the ring into 2 tables.
Pretty fall too.
Yeah. Let's see.
Sounds weird saying fall. It was a
Big
pretty
Show stairs by announce table. So Big Show set up some stairs by the announce table, which of course you knew was going to be set up for a spot later on. Then let's see. Big Show dive through the table and a spear in a corner. Roman Reigns spear through the barricade. Let's see. Roman Reigns spear through the Spanish announce table. He ran over the WWE table.
Yeah.
And
Courthouse table.
boom. That was an awesome spot as well. And pretty much Roman Reigns. ended up winning. He had to pretty much lift the table up and put it on top of Big Show to win.
Yeah.
But awesome match. I give it an A. We didn't really grade the rest of the matches. But if we did, that was an A. Good job, Roman. Next, I guess to kind of, settle people down after that good match, we have a Bo Dallas heel promo coming out. And I kind of smelt what was going to happen here, because there are people that were left off the card that, I figured we would make it on the card. But, of course, Ryback came out, shut Bo Dallas up. And what do you know? Bo Dallas's, off-screen brother, Bray Wyatt, shows up.
No, that happened on Raw the next night.
You're right. I wasn't reading my notes. That did happen on Raw next night. Basically, Ryback came out, shell shock. He feed him more. He's hungry. And yeah, then we see on Raw the next night, as you mentioned, Lawrence. And I keep on getting the two mixed up. It's okay.
It was back to back. It was back to back. It's okay.
Yeah. Our title match.
What's important is that it happened.
Yeah. Our title match. It was a heavyweight championship match. In the cage, no RKOs, and Kane was our gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper.
Yes. Real slow start. Kind of had me, to sleep, and the crowd really to sleep at the beginning of the match. And I think that they actually had a "This is boring" chant.
It's so boring.
Yeah.
You need to tell me Reigns outdid a Randy Orton and a Seth Rollins.
Well, it was just typical cage stuff. It was typical cage stuff. People have seen cage stuff before.
Well, I'm gonna give you. Go finish with the cage, and I'm gonna tell you my thing about this cage match. Go.
Sure. Obviously, J&J came down. J&J Security, as they typically do, try to help out Rollins. And we have seen Seth Rollins in cage matches before, and we have seen J&J help them in cage matches. We had a superplex off the top of the cage.
And a little odd to his dad. That was his dad's finisher.
Right. Let's see. Orton pedigree on Rollins. That was one of the big spots. Let's see. A missed punt attempt. Kane closing the door on Randy Orton. So it wasn't really fair for Randy Orton per se to at least escape the cage. Yeah. Let's see. Rollins ends up knocking Kane down. Kane gets mad at everybody and starts choking, slamming everybody. Gets all on a toughie. And then pretty much, let's see, what do we see then? Randy Orton RKO's Kane, which RKO's banned. Can't do that, Randy Orton, even though Kane is not a part of the match.
He's not part of the match.
And then we see, Seth Rollins pulling the RKO out of nowhere on Randy Orton, which I guess it was just implied that Randy Orton could not do the RKO.
Says who?
And that's kind of what Randy Orton's argument is. So it kind of led to a little bit of controversy because it was supposed to be no RKOs at all. And Randy Orton did the first RKO. However, it was against somebody that wasn't even in the match, Kane. Yeah. Even though he was the gatekeeper.
Yep.
And, it was an RKO. And then we see Seth Rollins do the RKO, who was a participant in the match. So with all the controversy, we're going to have some payback. And maybe even sprinkle in a little bit of Roman Reigns in there. What do you think?
Yep.
I think I might have to get on the phone and call somebody and explain why. What was the purpose of that cage?
There really was none.
Yeah.
The point is, the whole point of why Randy Orton made it a cage match was because
To escape the authority, right?
To escape.
Sorry.
No. I'm agreeing with everything that was not supposed to happen happened. The authority still interfered. Kane was involved. So they should have just did what's the name of the pay-per-view?
Extreme Rules.
They should have had an Extreme Rules match.
I agree.
And call it a day because they wasted
Are you
their
really
time
surprised,
and they
Lawrence?
wasted their energy and they wasted their money setting up that stupid cage.
Have you not seen all the cage matches they've had for like the last
I know, but
10
that's
years?
what's aggravating. That's why
I get it. The cage match philosophy. Let's have a cage match so we can keep all the bad guys out that interfere in our matches. It doesn't work like that unless maybe you're in a Hell in a Cell.
They should have just called it a doggone Hell in a Cell then.
Why not? Why not? Because or freaking get an elimination chamber going. At one of these matches because we don't have that paper.
Dog kennel match.
Let's have a match called Extreme Rules, since the name of the show is called Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with it.
It's like having a show called Hell in a Cell, not having Hell in a Cell.
Truly. But as we mentioned, folks, WWE did announce at Extreme Rules that we were going to be previewed to a King of a Ring tournament for the first time in 5 years. And, so, I mean, I was a little excited about that because I've actually had that on my mind lately. King of the Ring, they need to do one. It's been a while because I'm a fan of wrestling tournaments.
Who's your favorite King of the Ring?
Ooh, I might have to think about that one. Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
My favorite's the Kingdom Hearts.
King
Hearts.
Booker.
King Booker.
Because he sold that thing.
Yeah. What
He was a darn good king, even though Stone Cold Steve Austin,
No.
he didn't really do the king gimmick,
I would want to do King
but
of
that
all.
was the trigger that set him.
Now, if you want to do of all time, that didn't count with the tournament, we go with the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Well, Macho King.
Macho
Yeah.
The
King.
Macho King, Randy Savage.
What's Randy King Lawler?
Oh, he's just the king.
Well, he was the king.
He's
Yeah,
not
I don't
the
even
king
know
of
if
the
he ever
ring.
won a King of the
Yeah,
Ring.
he's not the king of the ring. He's the king of wrestling. He's the king.
Which, folks, if you're tuning in and you're a wrestling fan, 366-8951, why don't you tell us your favorite King of the Ring of all time?
Yeah. The greatest is Owen Hart.
Owen Hart. Oh, speaking of which, your boy, King Booker.
Booker.
What was the quote? He said, oh man, gravity forgot Aaron Neville, but gravity didn't forget Owen Hart. Ouch. Which, of course, if you don't know the backstory on Owen Hart, folks, he was, they were hanging him from a scaffold, bringing him into the ring, and he dropped 40 feet to the ring to his death. Yes, and unfortunately, gravity did not forget Owen Hart. I don't think Booker T meant that comment.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think he meant that in the way it came out.
I think he meant it like he wasn't a high flyer like Neville kind of thing.
Yeah.
You would hope so.
That's what he meant because the context of the conversation was.
Right. Even still, that would be a bad burn.
Somebody said something about we've never had a king of the ring that can fly.
Oh yeah,
Like
and that was what they were talking about.
Right, because
And
Owen was the king of the ring.
nobody else.
And they say, well, that was
gravity.
one announcer goes, well, that was Owen. And pretty much he was trying to say that Neville is a better high flyer than Owen Hart.
Yeah,
but
it's
it
just
came
wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, so-
You gotta feel bad for Booker T. He apologized though
Yes, he
for
did
it.
apologize, but I'm gonna go talk to all these crazy people that take things out of context. You see, that's the problem with the world nowadays. They take people's words and they take it out of context. Well, guess what? Here's this, and this is not out of context. If you don't want to sit down and look at the whole picture first, you're stupid.
Gravity didn't forget Owen Hart.
And I didn't.
Monday Night Raw was a little bit of a letdown after Extreme Rules, in my opinion. IMO.
It was the king of the ring.
Well, it was the introduction to the King of the Ring. We saw our first round, which we can kind of just fly through. We'd see our typical Seth Rollins promo, authority promo to open the show. Randy Orton stuff, blah, blah, blah. Let's make the main event and make an app vote.
Yeah.
What to do. That's what we do
And
for
there's a
opening
story
segments
about
of Raw.
there's a story a writer said it's they pretty much somebody asked him if is it a propped up it's
The phone voting,
yeah they said if it's
the app voting. Yeah, and they said it's legit.
oh it is legit
Yeah, actually, that's what the writer said, and that Vince McMahon didn't
that's
want the
not-
integrity of the voting.
And I've heard that too in the past.
I think they
But
pick and
it's-
choose which ones they want to mess with. Most of the time, they don't have to. I mean, like for
Well,
instance,
here's what I'm
the one
saying.
that they made for the night, making the
the
main event, either Randy Orton
here-
or Roman Reigns or both
Well,
of
here
them.
goes my real.
Of course people are gonna vote.
Here's me being a realist. Until it's leaked that that's actually what's going on, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Surely. But yes, our first match was our opening match in the King of the Ring tournament. We see Bad News Barrett against Dolph Ziggler. And, it was a good match. However, we see a little interference from Sheamus. So that just goes to show you that Sheamus and Ziggler's business is not finished.
Yeah, they're gonna get payback.
Yes, they will most likely have a match at Payback, which is going to be a short time away. Only 3 weeks between pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So they got to do their booking pretty quick for this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
Just
I like
some
it when they have
stories.
to do that because the storylines get along quick. You don't see the same worn-out matches. Next, we see New Day, basically Big E Langston going against Tyson Kidd, which kind of hinted that these two...
Big E,
you know,
change your gear.
Yeah.
change your gear, Big E.
You know the green.
We don't want to see your green dingleberries hanging
It's,
out
no,
all over
it's
the
not
place.
the color. It's the singlet he wears.
Man.
Yeah.
It's weird on him.
Because
Yeah,
he has like a weird looking body.
Yeah, he's a big old dude. But anyways,
Sure
we
he can.
see Xavier Woods once again with his heel tactics, holding down the foot of Tyson Kidd. And
I
Big
think Xavier's having, I
he's
think
having a blast.
Xavier and Big E are having fun with this New Day thing, and Kofi's just kind of there like,
I agree.
I'm uncomfortable here, but okay.
Which, by the way, this is Kofi's 4th time being tag team champion
With a different partner.
Yeah.
with different partners.
Yeah.
Can y'all name the partners?
Okay.
CM Punk.
CM Punk was one. R-Truth
R-Truth.
was one.
Evan Bourne.
Evan Bourne was one. For the 4th one, Lawrence, you got it?
Xavier Woods. Or,
Well, if you didn't count this
Well,
one.
Big E, right.
But then, yeah.
Next, we see Ryback against Bo Dallas, and as I kind of jumped the gun on our Extreme Rules, pretty much they had their match, quick match, self shock, and then Bray Wyatt comes out then, and we had kind of hinted even our last show that it appeared that that's where Bray Wyatt is going after WrestleMania is Ryback, and because they got to build Bray Wyatt up somehow. Ryback, unfortunately, you're the guy that's gonna have to take the fall. But yeah, so that's what Wyatt's doing now. Cena Open Challenge, we see Heath Slater, which I always crack up with Heath Slater. I'm a fan. At least,
is it like Bradshaw? What's his?
he's funny.
What's his alter ego called? Something Bradshaw.
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad he didn't rape that girl. I'll say that. But yeah, ended up Rusev was Rusev came out and jumped Heath Slater. End of that. And I think we're going to see, once again, I Quit match at Payback.
Right.
I'll make you quit.
Our next King of the Ring match, R-Truth against Stardust.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah, boo. It was a horrible match,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Archer
And-
talking about spiders all the time.
Well, R-Truth is on
spiders.
this arachnophobia kick, and he's afraid of spiders, and he wasn't even talking about the match. And Stardust, I don't know what they're doing with Stardust. And after the match, they interviewed Stardust, and he talked some serious trash on his brother. He was saying something about, I actually got a WrestleMania paycheck that I didn't have to split with 10 wives. I was like, damn. So it makes me wonder if they are maybe going to go back in time and actually do the Goldust versus Stardust feud.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
We'll see, because they were going to do that, but then they scrapped it.
But I heard Goldust is kind of hurt. I saw on his Twitter that he's going to do an MRI for something.
Oh, really? Which I'm actually a really big fan of Cody Rhodes and the character he's playing with Stardust. I think it's awesome. I think he's doing an awesome job with it.
He's always in character. I watched the interview and he was in character. And he
Did you see him play the R-Truth in the video game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. So, yeah, R-Truth won that one. He goes to the next
What's
round.
up?
Next, another throwaway match. Adam Rose
Which was a
against
shocker.
Fandango.
That was a shocker. R-Truth won that, by the way.
Kind of so. Which, not really, because Bad News Barrett won, so the babyface was going to win.
No, but R-Truth defeating Stardust, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't think
look
so,
at it on
but
paper, you're
the
like,
babyface is going to face our Bad News Barrett. Adam Rose against Fandango. Fandango came out with a mission, not Dancy. He did a pretty awesome, nice flip out of the ring that he hasn't ever done before. And I'm a fan of Ben Curtis or whatever his name is.
The thing with
I think he's
Fandango
Brian
is finding the right place to put him on the shows and giving him the time to do his thing.
and not being so cheesy.
Yeah.
They got to get rid of Rosa Mendez.
Yeah.
She's just awful.
And I think
I don't know. They should put somebody
I mean, who's did she, Wahoo?
Michael Hayes.
At Michael Hayes, Vince McMahon, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I
she's-
dare you talk about the chairman that way.
You're
I tell you what, Vinnie Mac has had
You're
more
hired.
BJs than
Hey,
you know
you're hired.
Lafayette on a Monday night for 40% off night. You know, how about that?
Yeah.
BJ's Pizza, you got your free plug.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So next, oh yeah, Adam Rose ended up winning that. By the way,
Yeah.
nobody really cares. And then Rosa kissed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Well,
whoop.
no.
Then we saw the Brie Bella interview. Naomi shoved her in the face, gave Brie a bloody nose. I thought
Cat
that
fight.
Yeah. And she said nobody cares about Daniel Bryan. That's a heelish thing to do.
Yeah.
That's a heelish thing to do is say nobody cares
I
about
thought
Daniel
your
Bryan.
husband-
So who am I supposed to cheer for here?
I
I
thought
don't
your
know.
husband was a baby face too. You know.
But that led right into a match for Brie and Naomi, which Naomi came out to some new music.
Yes.
And apparently, I think it's her. It's her music. You know, her dad's like a music producer, and I think it was okay. It was new for a good. It was good for a new gimmick. Good match, sloppy roll up, but Naomi ended up winning.
Yeah.
Let's see. Moving on. Next King of the Ring match: Dean Ambrose against Sheamus. It was a good hard match. Went on, for about good 15 minutes. However, it was a disqualification. Dolph Ziggler ended up costing Dean Ambrose. However, I think Dean Ambrose would have been counted out anyways because he got a brogue kick outside the ring.
Yeah.
So it looked like he was about to get counted out anyways, but Dolph Ziggler ended up coming up out and jumping Sheamus because Sheamus cost him his match earlier in the
maybe
night.
next year Dean Rose might be the king of the ring. You know.
If they do a King of the Ring,
Yeah.
we'll see. I think possibly they should even make it a pay-per-view again, or do the whole month thing like they were originally talking about doing. Which hopefully we can get to that. We've got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
So next we see Damien Sandow, the return of Damien Sandow.
Yeah, I like his new gimmick. He's
Yeah,
kind of
well,
he's kind of like
it went through all his personas and his
Yeah.
gimmicks, and Axel came out, Curtis Axel. And Damien Sandow did his Kobio Akitet or whatever, his elbow, and I was always a fan of Damien Sandow as the intellectual savior of the masses.
but he's a good
I
wrestler.
don't think he's gonna go back to that.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna do like performance artists, make fun of his,
Right.
like mock his talent or whatever.
Like a mimic.
Yeah.
I would almost even like to see him as like a mirror man. Like wear the same ring gear as your opponent every time, use the same moves
Yeah.
every time. Like
Make him
like
mad.
do a RKO on Randy Orton, do a pedigree on Triple A.
That could be something interesting.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if he can pull it off. And our main event, well, actually, it wasn't the main event. I'm sorry. The last King of the Ring match of the night was Neville against Luke Harper. Once again, Neville continues to impress. Awesome match, one of the best of the night, in my opinion. And we see the red arrow again. Neville advances. In our main event, we have Roman Reigns and Randy Orton tagging up against Kane and Seth Rollins. It was a decent match. Going through the motions. Seth Rollins actually kept accidentally running into Kane. Kane gets mad about it. And then what do you know? Which are they trying to turn Kane into a babyface?
Yes.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
He's
Again.
gonna eventually snap, I guess.
Maybe so. I would almost like to see a Team Hell No reunion. What do y'all think about that?
Hell no.
Hell No?
Hell
Yeah.
no.
Well, that was Raw. I gave Raw like a B minus. It wasn't anything special.
The crowd was at its hottest when they got the super mad punch turnaround RKO. Like the people were like losing their mind.
Yeah, I mean the main event was okay.
I was like, really? Y'all waited till this point of the show to go crazy? But okay.
Yeah, well, getting to our King of the Ring, which was our first King of the Ring in 5 years. Jerry Lawler introduced the show. In our first match, we see Sheamus against Neville, and here in our second round match, which was a pretty decent match. However, it led to a Dolph Ziggler getting revenge. He had a little distraction, red arrow.
Yeah.
Neville advances, which most people predicted, he would be in the
Then
final.
they get in a fight at the end, and they get in a fist fight, and Sheamus is all bloody.
Sheamus was very bloody, and then he wiped it in his eye too. Which does blood make your eye hurt? I don't know. I don't really know. I've never had blood in my eye.
Well, then it's
Want to find out?
Neville.
Let's see. R-Truth against Barrett. R-Truth was tripping about the spiders and whatnot.
If I become king, I'm gonna get rid of all the spiders.
That's what he said. But we ended up with a bullhammer. You know, the second round matches were nothing really special. You know.
Then comes the other match.
Yeah, and then in our final, we see two British men going at it. Neville against the Barrett Barrage, Wade Barrett, which, you know, I thought it was a pretty awesome match for the finals, you know. And we saw a missed red arrow, you know, which is the...
But he landed on his feet.
Landed on his feet.
Like a cat.
But when he kind of jumped back at Barrett, boom!
Boom!
The
boom,
bullhammer. And Barrett, you know, gets his crown, which it wasn't much of a coronation, I thought. You know, there was like nobody there to congratulate him, really. You know, Lawler came and interviewed him for a second.
He said like a quick. I'm the greatest king ever.
It was nothing that was memorable, really.
Yeah.
Quick SmackDown spoilers, nothing really interesting.
They had to hurry up and get it done because SmackDown had to get taped.
Well, SmackDown was Roman Reigns against Kane in the opening match. Kane just walks out. Damian Sandow actually returns to the ring, and he goes against Curtis Axel and goes over on him. I'm curious to see that one. I might tune in for that. Ryback against Luke Harper. Ryback gets the win on this. However, Bray Wyatt comes in and attacks afterwards with the sister Abigail. Tag team title rematch. That's enough to tune in to SmackDown this Thursday. Kid and Cesaro actually win, as we mentioned earlier in the show. However, it's a disqualification. The titles do not change hands. Yep. Nikki goes against Cameron, which I'm another one that I think Cameron sucks.
Yes.
You know, and which I've been watching the Tough Enough that she was on. But she was actually on Tough Enough, folks.
She was on Tough Enough, and she was the
first eliminated
for Tough Enough because she didn't know anything about wrestling in the first place.
Which, you know, she changed her favorite match. Did y'all hear about that? She's recently changed her favorite match from, what was it before, like Melina versus Alicia Fox or something? Or her new favorite match now is the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Mankind.
Oh, because she actually went watch it.
Right.
That is so good.
She's still getting a paycheck, too. How about that? In her main event.
Girl bye.
Girl bye, yeah. Well, I guess for Total Divas, you know. Because she causes drama on the show.
Yes, she is.
In our main event of SmackDown, we have Seth Rollins going in against Dean Ambrose, kind of rekindling their rivalry for one night only. Seth Rollins ended up winning the match. He's the champion now, but Roman Reigns ended up coming to having some beef with Seth Rollins toward the end. Let's kind of quickly go through some news. Let's see, Daniel Bryan out for 5 more weeks. Yeah. Should he drop the title? What do you think, folks? Bad News Barrett, King of the Ring. Is that the right choice?
Yeah. He needed a boost.
I like it. Let's see, Neville's doing awesome. He's really over with the crowd. Keep on with his push. Kofi's 4th tag team title. We got that one. Oh, Vern Gagne.
Rest in peace, Vern Gagne.
Rest in peace, Vern Gagne.
He trained Ric Flair.
He
actually
trained that one actually hit me.
Yeah, brought a lot of great people to the business that we have loved. We brought Hulk Hogan to the business.
Yeah, brother.
Let's see, King of the Ring kind of thrown together. They originally planned for it to be like a month-long thing.
It worked.
But in order to sell more subscriptions on the network, they threw it together at the last end of the month while they had their free month, and that's why we got a 2-day King of the Ring.
We had a little free pay-per-view.
Yeah, free pay-per-view pretty much. We talked about Booker T saying Gravity didn't forget Owen Hart. He apologized. Dean Ambrose, first pay-per-view win since Night of Champions 2013. Tough Enough is you can send in your audition tapes. Lawrence, have you sent in yours?
I'm not trying to go to Tough Enough.
Okay, well, I'm not tough enough either. I'll admit
I
it.
didn't say I wasn't tough enough.
We've talked about the sloppy diva writing and how we don't know who to cheer for. Jack Swagger, MIA. In 2015, he's been on 2 Monday Night Raws and 1 SmackDown, but I don't think really anybody cares. Why do Kane Big Show keep getting pushes? We've talked about that. Oh, the WWE PC game is now available. It came out Tuesday, and I think you can get it on your mobile app for $7.99. Roman Reigns in the main event. I think it's a good idea if he's winning or if it's some kind of tomfoolery, like you say. Let's see, early Money in the Bank predictor. Anybody? That's the next pay-per-view after Payback.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. That's where I'm at with it too. Roman Reigns winning the next Money in the Bank.
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose. I'd like to see a surprise like Dean Ambrose. You know, because
I don't mind surprises. But
or Neville even. You know? No, whoever.
Roman Reigns, if he's in it.
I mean, I'd like to see Neville in the match.
Yeah.
In the Money in the Bank match, definitely.
Do some flips with him.
Who's the next NXT superstar to come up?
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. I disagree with you
I
there.
think they're gonna keep Sami Zayn for a little while.
I think Finn Balor goes up first. I even think Charlotte goes up before. I even think Tyler Breeze is going to go up before. Let's see. Stardust, Dig on Goldust, we don't have time for that. Folks, get your tickets for SmackDown on June 9th.
We got ours.
Sports Entertainment Tonight is going to be out there. I believe we're going to be like in the second row, kind of once you get up on the little ramp.
And,
So.
and the other part of it is gonna be somewhere else because I'm me.
Right, and we've been trying to holler at the WWE, and do some dual promotion, but we're wrapping up here. We've got about how much time left? About 30 seconds.
Before we go up, I would like to address you.
Yeah.
We actually didn't have any beef,
Yeah.
and I understand your birthday's in a couple of weeks. So here's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, in 2 weeks, I'm gonna have a special gift just for you.
2 weeks away, folks.
Oh, yeah?
And we've got
As
a
long as you stay peaceful with me for 2 weeks.
peace out, Acadiana. We love you. This is Sports Entertainment Tonight. Nick Fugwe, Mark Draw, Lawrence Alfred. Peace out.